Well, here we are back under a weather impact alert. Normally I'm like, all right. But this one, we're going to get some snow, which is a big good news situation for us. Our mountains are in desperate need of it. And most of this snow that we are going to see the next few days hits the mountains. This is a big mountain snow event. For us down low, yeah, a couple of inches, but seriously, we need the mountain snow, and this is that storm. We're under a weather impact alert from Tuesday all the way to Thursday, mainly for the mountain snow, but also we're going to see snow down low, and it is going to have impacts Tuesday, Wednesday, and likely Thursday with another round moving in. So winter driving conditions are imminent. Like, it's going to happen. There's no way it's not going to happen. Silver Mountain was looking pretty good earlier. You can't see it now that the sun's gone down, but here we go. Widespread snow tomorrow, gusty wind on the backside of some of that snow. So wind will pick up after the snow, kind of late in the evening through Wednesday morning. Wednesday morning then winds up nice and sunny because of it. But along with it comes a little bit of a drop in temps, just a little. I mean, over the weekend we were in the upper 40s and we saw sunshine. So a fall back into the 30s these next few days is pretty substantial. It's more than 10 degrees from where we were the past couple of days. Most of what we see falls in the mountains. Rain and snow over snow quality tomorrow. It's an interesting one the way this moves in with how warm we are going to be. By Wednesday, though, it is heavy snow over on the west side, or the mountains of the west side. Stevens Pass, heavy snow, both Tuesday and Wednesday. Sherman Pass, snow turns into a chance of snow from Tuesday into Wednesday. And look out, we're talking snow both Tuesday and Wednesday. So really, all of your mountain passes, it's Lookout and 4th of July. 4th of July, you're getting a decent amount. We'll talk that here in just a second. 2 to 4 feet of snow. That's our winter storm warning. It really is for all of the Cascades, and we are seriously looking at 2 to 4 feet of snow by Thursday. This is from now all the way until Thursday. In addition to the snow comes wind. 35-mile-per-hour winds are enough to cause drops in visibility or blizzard conditions. Not a blizzard, blizzard conditions. Blizzard has to be sustained for hours on end. Blizzard conditions are a big gust of wind comes and you can't see anything. Big difference there. Possible over there. Possible on 4th of July and Lookout as well. 8 to 18 inches of snow is expected in our mountains here in Northeast Washington and North Idaho. That does include these areas where we're under winter weather advisories. 35-mile-per-hour winds and 8 to 18 inches of snow in the mountains. Down in the valleys, say the Silver Valley or the valleys up in Northeast Washington and North Idaho, widespread 2 to 5 inches of snow and the wind. That's a decent amount, especially considering how dismal this winter has been thus far. So as we get a little bit closer, we will wind up seeing those totals likely shift just a little bit, but these are our prelims. Here's our first little wave. You can see it right there. Notice our storm down to the south. This isn't what we're looking at. Instead, we're getting this, but the presence of this is going to help give us a little bit of a convergence zone. Basically, it just means we're going to squeeze a little more out of this than we otherwise would. Because of that, I think it's pretty likely that our snow winds up starting a little bit earlier than we anticipated because of that additional squeeze. So here's our big push of moisture moving in. That is likely going to hit us tomorrow morning. Maybe late in the morning, but tomorrow morning nonetheless. A little bit of activity leaving the region, heavy rain coming down in California. But for us, a little break in the action. We even saw a little bit of sun Monday afternoon. Kind of nice. I don't know about you, but seeing sun this time of year always feels like a bit of a treat. Hope you enjoyed it because it goes away. It goes away as snow moves in. Forecast models put the snow picking up right after the morning commute. Stretch from Ritzville all the way up to, say, Spokane, Northeast Idaho, or Northeast Washington, and North Idaho. Notice the west side. Tons of rain, really heavy snow coming down in the Cascades, but because this is coming in from the west and northwest, we wind up with a little bit of a rain shadow. Kind of interesting. Down to the south, rain. Widespread, decent rain, and then it just spreads in. By tomorrow afternoon, there's model indication that we see a little bit of a wintry mix form along Interstate 90 between, say, Medical Lake and Post Falls. I think it's probably pretty likely. Those kind of wet, nasty snowflakes that melt as they fall. We just got too warm over the weekend to not see some of that around the region. Up north, it's going to be all snow in the mountains. We hang on to the snow over Lookout and 4th of July. Down in the Palouse, it's a wintry mix. By the time you hit the Lewis and Clark Valley, it is going to be rain. That continues, eventually becoming more widespread rain in that Spokane to Coeur d'Alene corridor. Unfortunately, it just looks like those snow levels hover somewhere around 2,000 feet. That would mean places on the north side of town up near the Y or South Hill wind up with a wintry mix or snow, while downtown along Interstate 90 and even over into Coeur d'Alene, we wind up seeing a little bit of rain. You get up north, you're looking at snow, maybe a little rain mixing in if you get up, say, Hayden, just off to the north, Athol, Rathdrum. You might see a little bit of a wintry mix by the evening as this slowly makes that transition back over. Once again, check out that rain shadow. Nothing going on in central Washington. Widespread snow over the Cascades. If you're heading to the west side, be ready for snow. It's kind of a big contender. By Wednesday, we are likely waking up to clear skies, but it's clear skies and wind. Wednesday is going to be a bit windy on the heels of some of that snow. If it were colder, I would say we have blowing snow concerns, but up in higher elevations, I would say it is definitely going to be one of those where wind picks up. 35 mile per hour wind gusts, aren't really enough that I would be like, oh, crazy, we got to worry about it. More of a blowing snow while it's happening, wind loading in the mountains. So if you're a backcountry person, pump the brakes on this one. Wind loading and avalanche danger on the heels of a winter where we really haven't been out all that much. Not a great combo. Wednesday morning, we see a little bit of activity. Snow stays down to the south. So I think here in Spokane, we don't really see anything. I might go ahead and remove this snow icon on our Wednesday because it just looks like we wind up kind of partly cloudy until that next round of snow moves in. Notice, taps into the cold early Thursday morning. Remember, we're getting a little bit colder here. So by Thursday, it's snow and it's long before the sun comes up. So it likely impacts that morning commute Thursday because by the time sun comes up, we're on the backside. We're through the worst of it, if you will. Then things just start calming. But with a strong westerly wind, I think you wind up seeing a little more sun in central Washington. But with temperatures hovering where they're going to these next few days, things just stay interesting, especially if you take a look at what's headed our way. 1 to 2 inches of snow in Spokane, 1 to 4 in Deer Park, 1 to 2 out in Davenport. Ritzville, less than an inch, but I do think you wind up seeing a little bit of snow as this moves through. 2 to 3 in Coeur d'Alene, 2 to 4 in St. Mary's. Pullman, Moscow might have to up those right now. It's kind of that rain line. This snow in the background, it's interesting. I was shopping around different models. It puts more snow in the Palouse than I would like, but it puts the right amount of snow in Spokane for what I like. So it's very difficult to pick a one that does this accurately. 12 to 18 over Lookout Pass, 4 to 6 up in Sandpoint, I think is pretty likely by the time this comes to an end. Check out the differences though, seriously. 12 to 18 over Lookout Pass. You get over, say, Snoqualmie, you're looking at decent amounts of snow up there as well. 1 to 4 in Deer Park, 4 to 6 in Sandpoint. It is looking pretty crazy in terms of snowfall. But right on the backside of this, it looks like we dry out and warm back up. I didn't make this up. It's just that winter. We just can't get out of this cycle. Temperatures trend above normal and we dry out in a pretty big way. But if a model is saying we dry out in a big way confidently, and we're going to be warmer than average confidently, it's the time of year where if this moisture right here becomes snow tomorrow with 1 to 2 inches here in town, and then we try to melt it and it refreezes and try to melt it and it refreezes, by the time we get into this stretch, Friday through next Monday, we could very well wind up in that low fog and cold, wet pattern where we just can't shake it. That is a big, big possibility. Next week, instead of winding up above average, we could watch our temperatures hover pretty much dead on those seasonal norms because we're in that freezing fog pattern. However, we don't know that. What we do know though is tomorrow, 38 degrees with snow. Our weather impact alert runs tomorrow, Wednesday and Thursday. Wednesday, the scattered snow showers are all up in the mountains, so we're going to be partly cloudy here in Spokane. Thursday, snow showers, and those are likely before the sun comes up, and then we kind of get out of the worst of it. But the weather impact alert is in place because it's going to be pretty impactful weather conditions these next few days.